What's good, y'all? Today I'm going to talk to you about one of my favorite and most important tools that I use to get focused, not only as a producer, but also as a content creator. The vision board, baby. Let's get to it. Let's get busy. All right, welcome back to the channel, y'all. Once again, my name is Sight, and I make videos about creating dope beats using the MPC, as well as other tools for producers and content creators. So if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button down below. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you're really a real one, you'll hit that bell notification while you're at it. All right, so jumping into the video, normally this is a project I don't really share with people. This is something I usually do privately, and it really helps me set my goals. I know in this channel, we tend to stick to things that have to do with equipment, but I wanted to show you guys this process because it's something that I do every few years or so, not just as a music producer, but as a producer of any type of content. You could be a filmmaker, a video director. So for me, having visual reinforcement of my goals and the things I'm trying to achieve is super helpful, and it really helps me take my career to the next level every time I implement it. So what's the backstory on this vision board thing? Well, it's kind of an interesting phenomenon. I mean, it kind of blew up a few years ago and got real new agey. I tend to use it on a lot more practical level. For the last 10 years, I've been studying marketing. And one thing I realized about marketing is that we constantly get bombarded with images all day. And there was actually a study I read a few years back that said we get bombarded with something like 5,000 to 10,000 images a day just going about our daily lives. And these were referring to marketing messages. These are actually subconscious things that we take in every day when we're just walking around our house, on our way to work, at work. But the dope thing about having our own space and our own studio, if you're anything like me, you kind of treat it like your sanctuary. And if you want to stay in a creative mode, that's kind of crucial. Having a lot of clutter, having a lot of messages that don't align with what you're trying to do will definitely throw the vibe off in the studio, and could really be counterproductive if you're trying to get things done. So just how advertisers try to subconsciously program us with their messages, we can actually use that same type of programming technique on ourselves to deliver messages subconsciously to ourselves to help us achieve our goals. And in my opinion, one of the best ways to do it is with the vision board. Now there's other ways I kind of implement these techniques. I'll change the screensaver on my desktop. I'll change the screensaver on my phone. You know, a lot of us put our kids' pictures on our work desk and things like that. And those are kind of things that just remind us of what we're really working for, right? Especially if we're doing a job that we don't really resonate with. It kind of keeps us grounded and keeps us focused on what's important and what we're working towards. So to me, the vision board is just taking this concept one step further. And I want to show you guys the ways that I've kind of visualized some of my goals for the future, for this channel, for myself as a producer and a content creator, and kind of showing my growth. I'm going to walk you guys through a couple of the materials that I use and just kind of show you how I put it together in my thought process. After that, we'll go through and break down all the images that are on mine, and I'll kind of explain what I'm trying to achieve with those images and with those choices, all right? Check it out. Now starting off, you can see I kind of have these sections, right? I have channel growth, sound design, creative space, audio upgrades, and vehicular creativity. I'm gonna kind of break down what each one of those mean to me and kind of like what my goals are. So first I have this this match being lit, right? And the flames sparking and kind of lighting others. And that's kind of my goal for this channel. Like, I think the key to me growing with this channel is to continue to inspire. And you guys let me know in the comments that, you know, you've been inspired by the stuff I've been doing so far. So my goal is to really continue that, kind of take it to the next level. And I hope to kind of just light that match and just spark this creative fire. We can all take our gifts and prosper with them. All right, and then I have kind of the material things here that I need for the channel to grow. These are two Sony a7S III cameras. Actually, I think these are the a7Rs, but I really like the way that the lenses and everything, they have kind of like these camo wraps on them. My cameras are just as cool as my MPCs to me, so I think customizing them is something I want to look into. Got the a7S III up here, which is kind of like my next camera goal that I want to shoot for. We've got the coveted silver play button, which is kind of my next goal. You know, if we can get the channel up to 100,000 subs, that would be great. And I just have to symbolize that here is that spike, that arc. And then I have what I wrote here on a post-it note: 10x, 20x, 50x, 100x. And that's kind of like, you know, it's just taking your gifts and multiplying it, just kind of creating abundance through using your gifts. All right, moving down. I got this quote that I found, and it says "Shine bright," and it was actually a title, and it had this title to a book, and it had this diamond on it. So I went ahead and implemented that in the diamond. And the goal, just like lighting the match, is just to shine, you know, lead with the gifts that I've been blessed with, and let my skill set and let my talent shine. So, you know, we all should aspire to that, be an inspiration to other people. Then I have here in a purple post-it note, lead by example. So I just kind of wanted to switch it up the color. And that's what I try to do for my son and my family is, you know, lead by example. Instead of telling people what to do, I like to show them what to do. And that's my goal with this channel as well. All right, so another part of channel growth and business growth for me is gonna be sound design. That's a journey that I'm getting into, and I'm gonna be documenting it. I do love making beats outright, but I really fall in love with the process of creating melodies, not adding drums to everything that I make, just kind of creating melodies that, you know, I want to provide for you guys and the community in general. So I really like the concept of creating loop packs and things like that. And I'm going to have some of those coming soon. It's something I'm really looking to get into heavy. So stay tuned for that. Now with the sound design, how I want to get into it is I have my MPC Live2, and I want to kind of create like a pedal board where, you know, you take these guitar effect pedals and use it as outboard gear. It's kind of continuing in that process of standalone, something that I can just kind of plug in once, and then it has all these jumper cables that keep them all powered up, and you can kind of choose which effects to use. So if you guys are familiar with pedal boards, this is nothing new, but it's something I've been wanting to get into for a little while. And down here, I just have some examples of studios that I like. This one was really cool because it's got like this, you know, this sidecar over here, and I actually put a sidecar, a full sidecar over on the other side as well. I just like the ergonomics and everything in the studio, so I wanted to throw that in there. I thought it was a really cool vibe. Definitely want to throw some plants and some greenery in my studio, kind of bring some life back into it. But the most important thing were these white sound panels. I'll try to give you guys a close-up of it. These sound panels are white with natural wood kind of surrounds on them. I've been trying to look for some panel companies to work with, but if I can't find any that I really like, I'm probably gonna end up building my own and making a video about it. I am Mr. DIY man. I do like to do stuff myself sometimes. And creating some acoustic panels would be something that I would probably really enjoy. I've just been putting it off, but let me know if you guys are interested and I'll definitely make a video about that. All right, moving on here. I got this father here with his little man. He's got a real cool ergonomic chair. I definitely need to upgrade my office chair. And he's just doing creative work, and he's got his little guy on his lap. I'm hoping my little ones can see me working and appreciate what I'm doing. It looks like he's working in Adobe Premiere, and that's definitely how daddy gets down, as my son could tell you. Let's move up to creative space. Creative space is basically where I visualize myself working in the future. So this is kind of more like 5-year plan type stuff. I mean, if it happens sooner, that's good. But, you know, this is like 3 to 5 year plan. Maybe even 10-year plan, some of the stuff on here. Up top, I kind of have the dream house. I'm really a fan of like container homes. I really like the kind of square architecture that they use. I like the open platforms and balconies on this place. And I like the fact that it has a whole bunch of land. The picture that I cut it out from, I'll show you on the screen. It has a ton of land. It was actually a property that was for sale last year. And it was just beautiful. You know, a square swimming pool, just really, really ideal. And then it actually has a separate house over here, which I guess you can call like an in-law house or a pool house or something like that. But I would love to have something like that for my studio, for my photo studio, away from the house where I can get over there and work but close enough where, you know, I can walk over and see my babies. All right, and over here I have some embroidery stuff, which is, I'm looking to get more into embroidery on my apparel business. I do use some embroidered patches and stuff, but I get them outsourced. So this is not really super defined. It's just something I want to get into, whether it's just, you know, getting stuff embroidered, manufactured on a mass scale. I like the look when it comes to apparel, so I thought it would be cool to put it on there. All right, and under here I have kind of like an ideal photography studio for me, which is, you know, big umbrellas, you know, white backdrop. As you can see behind me, I have one built out of my garage. But if I can get a dedicated space, that would be really awesome. It's got the camera on the tripod, just really cool lighting, stuff that I like to use already, and hardwood flooring, which I think is really cool in a photography studio. So I just kind of like the whole vibe that has going on. All right, and we got a hat press here, and this is just a piece of equipment that I want to upgrade in my apparel business. I have one now, but I think I definitely want to upgrade that, and that's just something I wanted to do probably sooner than later in the next year. All right, and this is just another example of a really dope studio that I would kind of like to emulate. I don't really like the tan, but I do like the white sound panels, and I just wanted to showcase that. All right, and down here I just have a really cool like embroidered hat. It's got lit up eyes. It's like this kind of like demon looking thing, this demon samurai looking thing. And this is actually an embroidery company that I know of in the Philippines, and they're really phenomenal. So I'd love to do some work with them at some point. All right, so moving further over, I got a couple beanies here. These beanies have an all over design, which I think is really cool. And I'd love to do something like that with my MPC Gang hats, diamonds, rare. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with it? All right, so as far as creative space, that takes care of everything. Over there, I have audio upgrades. And as you can see at the top, I have preserved the culture, and it just has the different elements of hip hop. We've got, you know, the turntable, the MPC, the headphones, the tape deck. And I feel like that's kind of foreshadowing, because you're probably gonna see some more of that stuff on my channel coming very soon. But I'm a hip hop dude to the core, and I think it's really important to preserve the culture. It's really important to keep the culture alive and carry forward the history and document it as much as we can. All right, and at the top right corner over there, I just have some really cool rack mount units. It looks like some 1073 style units, which are Neve preamps, just some vintage style preamps. Definitely stuff I want to get into. It looks like one's a Warm Audio, just a really respected brand. So I want to kind of get into more rack mount hardware. And that brings me down here to this sidecar. It's a rack mount unit that you can kind of roll around your studio. So that's something I'm looking to implement in my, you know, small office studio. Definitely something ergonomic that I can kind of move in and out and have plugged in all the time, but still push it out of the way so it doesn't take up too much space in my small room. And last but not least, I have vehicular creativity. Now this is something that's kind of like long-term vision. And it's something that I wanted to do and implement for a little while. I actually wanted to get a vehicle, a van, or some type of large vehicle that I can get wrapped. As you can see down here, all the samples here are Sprinters, the Mercedes-Benz Sprinters, and they're just super customized, which I think is dope. This one over here is kind of more recreational customized. They all have these really fire roof racks, which I really like. And eventually my vision is to have something like this as a representation for my brand, a physical representation for my brand that I can kind of travel in. I'm a family man, so I'm not really into van life that much, but it would really be cool to have a comfortable kind of work/play vehicle that I could use for promo events. You know, I could just show up, have certain equipment with me, and just pull up and be productive no matter where I go. I can definitely see myself with some monitors inside, definitely, you know, my camera rigs and things like that. And there's actually some YouTubers that I follow, one in particular, Talent Sai, who is actually doing a promo tour right now around the country, and he's basically vlogging around the country, traveling in one of these type of vans, and he's, you know, he's got it sponsored and things like that. So as a marketing vehicle and kind of like as a content producing technique, I just think it's really dope, and I like the creativity about the whole thing. And I like the freedom. I like to get out and about, and especially with the whole lockdown and where the world is right now as far as travel, this might be a more realistic way to travel in the near future than hopping on planes and stuff. And as I get further, if I do end up getting a vehicle, these particular ones are like 150K, so definitely not something I'll be getting anytime soon, but I like to have it on there because you never know what can happen, and it's good to have these things locked in your mind as you're doing your work. It's good to have long-term goals on here and short-term goals that just keep you focused and help you see literally the big picture. All right, y'all, so that pretty much covers everything. If you like this video and you like the content so far, make sure you hit that like button down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you have questions about anything on here or anything that I've done in this video, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear you guys' feedback. I'd love love to hear the techniques that you guys use to get focused as a producer, as a content creator, if that's what you do. It's definitely dope to share information that can help us all progress in our goals. So I'm gonna ride out on that note. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Catch you on the next one, all right? Peace.